Welcome to the Bowlful of Lemons Challenge, week 14, and she's at the vicarage. This week's challenge is sorting out the garage, and the garage is off our little hallway where the piano and the downstairs loo are. This little section with the piano is a future upcoming project, a bit of a renovation, a bit of a turnaround of that little section to make it use better. But as you can see from this footage, the garage is a little bit of a mess. I tend to just throw things into the garage from the doorway and then it pushes and pushes, and so actually there isn't much walking space from the door into the garage, and so lots of things to sort through. The shelf, as you can see, I don't know why the footage is on side, needs sorting through, and we need to work through. So here we go, sorting through and getting this garage into a calm and tidy place. There's still stuff to go though, and so the plant canes and polystyrene things I am going to offer to my community. But I wanted to start off by sorting out this shelf. I built this shelf last year, which kind of did the job, but actually I've had the idea of moving the shelves from the side to give me more shelving on this shelf. How many times can I say shelf in this video? So I've got these offcuts from the drawers that I'm just going to put on to give an extra shelf on top. Hopefully they'll just screw in quite easily. And provide me with one more shelf. I don't really mind that they're rough bits of wood. No one's really going to look at the top of the garage shelf, are they, at what I've attached to it. Basically just there to serve a purpose for me at this time, rather than buying new shelves. Once that top had been put on, I secured it in place and then started loading it up with all the paints. A box for decorating stuff and a box for car bike stuff. Then it was just a case of sorting stuff out. This vice grip I'll talk about later, but slowly just placing things back on these shelves, storing them away, slowly clearing this fridge freezer which we inherited. We don't really need the extra freezer space, but we've had an idea in our church to be able to, all of us, cook meals that we can keep in the freezer to give to people in our community when they need a meal cooked for them. And so that's the plan for that fridge freezer. Until it's used, I'm temporarily going to store some bits on it that need to go. So you'll see me starting to load things back on to that shelf of things that need to go elsewhere. So they're not going to stay there, but they're there for now. Lastly was clearing all these random bits off the floor, putting them where they're meant to go. You can see the kind of stuff that I just throw in from the piano, and really need to learn to put things away when we've used them rather than just chucking them in through the doorway. Because at some point they've got to be put away, so why don't I just do it straight away? That's what I really need to learn to do. Put things away straight away and not just chuck them for a later date. I'd even chucked all the screws out of that cupboard, that storage place on the floor, so I just collected those up and put those away. I must admit, one of the reasons I avoid the garage is because of all the outstanding projects that are left in it. These golf clubs were actually found in our churchyard and need returning to the police, so that's an outstanding task that I really need to complete. So the rest of the stuff that I'm going to show you is actually stuff that I'm going to challenge myself to complete throughout the month of April. So the golf clubs, then next to the golf clubs, you can see this rabbit hutch. It's seen better days and I need to revamp it and redo it. So that's another project. I inherited 2 of these picture frames. You can't really see it, it's the wrong way around, from my grandparents. One is used, and I just want to complete a picture that I've seen, paint a picture to use the other one in the living room. So that's another project for me to do. This offcut from our kitchen is actually going to be used in the church centre and needs to go there. There's a door there that needs putting back on my child's wardrobe. There's a pet run that I need to also build and put outside. This bit of wood here is actually the stable, one of our Christmas decorations. And what I need to do is secure it back together. So that's another little project to do. I don't know if you're like me, but if you have a mess, you end up buying 2. So I've actually found that I've got 2 bags of cement now. I bought a bag of cement to cement the ground of the greenhouse, and that's a job for me to do in the coming month. Whether I use the bag that I've just bought or whether I use the old cement, we'll find out. How many videos have you seen this bell that's meant to be put up? I'll try and do it in April, that's a plan. Also, here is a bird feeder that also needs to go up. Hopefully I'll get it done in April. There's just some tools that need to go and some gas canisters that need to go as well. And that's not to mention all the jobs that these paint pots suggest I need to do. Even more jobs on the shelf. My dad made these wooden boxes, so I've held on to them. The bigger of the 2, I'm actually going to make into a footstool for the bedroom. That's a future project coming up. Maybe I'll get it done this month, maybe not, but that's a future project. And then the box at the bottom is actually graffiti removal stuff that the police have lent me. I need to make use of it and then hand it back to the police to remove the graffiti that some annoying people have put on our church building. So many jobs to do in this garage that sometimes you forgive me if I avoid this place. It is overwhelming, the amount of things I need to do, but let's see maybe in April how many I can get done. So there's the stuff stored. Actually, I'd love to hang the tools up on that wall and also maybe even hang the bikes up, but that's a future project too. The last thing I mentioned I'd share with you is about this vice grip. It was actually in my dad's workshop and I've used it since I was a child. And I've had it for the last 10 years. And at last, it's attached to my shelves and I can make use of it while I'm building the wardrobe. It would have been really helpful to have it from the very beginning, but now it's in place and it's going to be made use of. And every time I use it, I'll remember my dad fondly and the projects that we did together. And so there we have it. The garage is a lot less chaotic than it was when I started. It's not perfect, but it is a lot better. And that goes for the whole of the house. So we've finished now the Bowl Full of Lemons challenge for this year and move on to other projects. And so join me next week as we see what I've got up to in the vicarage. Take care, God bless, have a wonderful week.